whatever you want to call it.
I love it. I love it. That music is so brutal that we can't even listen to it for like 10 seconds. It's hilarious to me.
I don't understand. Why do we have options?
Exactly. The music is the worst. Seriously. We are going to figure that out, people. But before we do that, we've got a free agency special for you guys. I'm actually in a very happy mood. My team decided to sign people, so I'm wearing their jersey because they actually did something for once.
Oh, wow.
The
Brand
Bears
loyalty.
the Bears have made some moves. I didn't actually see if the Giants made any moves.
The Giants made a move with Paulson Adebo, which is a pretty solid cornerback out of New Orleans.
They made another one that I liked about 5 minutes ago, but we can get into that. I'm actually excited about that one. But,
and they got Darius Slayton, which is interesting.
Yes, which is very. Well, I think it's a good thing, but we'll get into it. I think that's good.
So
I'm seeing this live. Weird on my Twitter. Is it live?
Yes, it is live.
What the heckums?
Yep.
Interesting.
All right, so
okay. All right, well, we'll get going. No worries. I don't know why it's not because I see it on the destinations. I don't know what happened. So that's weird. But anyways, all right, so people. Okay, so we are going to talk about everything that's happened to free agency. Med's got a awesome list of questions. I've got some good ones. We had a player on last week. We are going to have another player on next week. We'll reveal that towards the end of the show. But before we get going, Mr. U, how are you doing, man?
Fantastic, brother. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invite, man. I appreciate it.
Man. Yeah, this is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
I'm stressing out with agency by myself, so I need help. I need somebody to stress out with. Yeah.
Well, I got some questions about what your team's doing, but I don't know what my team's making weird moves too. So I like the moves, but they made some weird ones. But Matt, how are you doing, dude?
Man, I'm doing peachy. I'm just sitting here in the South, just enjoying watching my team up north make finally start to solidify that offensive line. Maybe Caleb won't get beat up every week. So
maybe not. You guys have made some serious moves. Med, do you want to start with your questions or do you want to hit our three teams?
Let's hit our three teams first, starting off with Mr. U. You have kind of dropped a little bit of a bomb.
He doesn't want to start this team. He doesn't want to start this team.
What bomb? I can't even find the post. We just signed a tackle, and I'm excited about it, but I can't find it. So please don't start with me.
All right, fine. Izac, go with it.
You guys got Roy Robertson Harris.
That's not him. I don't know who that bum is. That's not him.
You signed Paulson Adebo. Was that the move?
I like it. I know he cost less than War, but I expect him to be on the field more than Ward was. So I'm good with it. I see him in New Orleans. When he's on the field, he's decent. He's a ball hawk. I mean, I like him.
He got 3 years, $54 million with 36 guaranteed. Sports Illustrated gave it an A-. I'm looking at it right now. That's actually a pretty big move, dude. That's more than the Packer corner they signed. Like how much money he got. Yeah. Pretty good.
We needed a cornerback one, man. I don't know if Banks is going to push him. I don't foresee that, so I think he'll have CB1 comfortably. But we needed to have somebody do that because our second was we had some issues back there. And some guys going out on free agency. I mean, we had to do something. So I'm okay with this. I'm not no fans of going out their mind, jumping off bridges and whatnot. I'm not in that camp, man. I'm like, this is a good thing, guys. Chill out. This is reasonable money. This has been happening all day long. 3 years, 36. This has been going on all day long. This is okay. It's no need to panic. It's $12 million a year. We're okay. It's going to be okay.
I actually think I think it's $18 million. I think it's 3 years, $54 million.
I'm still good with it.
I think you needed it, man. Your front four is legit. You got linebackers, but your secondary was one of the biggest holes on your roster. So I think that and in the NFC East, man, Washington's making big moves. We're going to talk about them. They went out and got Laramie Tunsil. They went out and got Deebo Samuel. They made some signings too. They're going all in like they said they were going to. Not Jerry Jones's version. They're actually going all in.
Not at all.
But you got CeeDee Lamb in the division. You got Scary Terry. You need the Eagles have got, AJ Brown everywhere. You gotta have
Give me 1 second.
similar to the NFC North. So, yeah. I think is there anybody else you like your team?
I mean, I'm not sure I'm seeing everybody, but we got a guy. He's just going to be tackle depth for us. James Hudson III started 17 games in 4 seasons. I mean, I guess had come up for shoulder surgery, so he's just depth. But I mean, the guys that we have back there, it's like that they're not really it. So we need to go ahead and kind of refresh. So he's just a depth body, but that's probably why the Giants fan are going crazy because we're getting guys besides Debo, we're getting guys that are like, they're just depth and backups more than likely. They're not gonna start more than likely, and everybody trying to figure out if Joe Shane is asleep or if he's actually over there working. So that's why the fans are going crazy on Twitter, especially and Facebook. I'm trying to find out, so those are just depth signing. But Debo is the main one, along with Slayton. I think we needed to have him back, be a mentor to Malik Neighbors for one, but have somebody who's consistent, that can run routes and separate. Because we weren't really seeing that much for other guys. At the same time, bear in mind what the quarterback situation was, so keep that in mind. But we need to have some kind of stability, man, for the new vet and rookie that's going to come in. So having Slayton back, I'm good with it, man. No panic for me. They're going crazy on social media, but I'm good.
Well, I wish it was a little bit cheaper. Like, 12 million
How much?
A year is a lot. They gave him 12 million a year. 3 years, 36.
Some of that stuff is Haljet paid, man. He's been there all this time, going through all this giant big blue hell, and he stuck with us, man. I mean, give him a little bump. I mean, it's honorable. I'm okay. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. That's being honorable. Because we let him go, and he went to the Eagles. The Giants fans will be dying worldwide, jumping off bridges and ledges and whatnot worldwide. This is okay, man. This is a honorable move right here. He's been trying to take care of us. Let's take care of him for once. I'm good with it. No issues. No issues on my side.
All right. I like it. Matt, do you have any thoughts on the Giants before we move on and talk some more free agency?
No, I mean, so far, like you kind of nailed it. I mean, they needed to actually solidify the back end of their defense. I mean, it was not exactly the greatest pass defense in the nation. And you look at Paulson Adebo, I mean, he was really solid. I mean, he's one of the few bright spots that were down there in New Orleans. Just no one really got to see it because, it's New Orleans. But, I mean, that and the other signings that I was talking about, Darius Slayton, of course, I think that's a really good one because they brought him back. He already knows the system, and let's go. I mean, they're going to be building for the future, and they need to actually have some good fundamental blocks, and those two are really good players to have there for that.
I like it, man. Good stuff. Mr. U, anything else on the Giants before we move on to the
I don't know if anything else is happening. I don't know what else is going on. I don't think there's any signing them. I'm just sitting here kind of watching my phone. My phone been buzzing nonstop since early this morning. So I'm just kind of just watching this, but I don't know about anything else. What I'm hoping that they do is they bring in some O-line guys out of the free agent crop if it's available. Guys like Will Freeze. That's somebody who I got my eye on. I'd love to see them bring him over. Because we need help at guard without question. I think he would take a reasonable amount of money, maybe $4 and $60, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. We need help, and he's been solid in Indy, so that's kind of one guy I'm looking at right now. The quarterback situation, of course, that's the obvious one. We got to have a vet, and a lot of the options have dried up. So I don't think we're going to talk about that today, but now we're coming down to Rodgers and Wilson, or some conglomeration of that. Or if you want to throw in Carson Wentz, or some of the ESPN guys did this morning, I'm like, Carson Wentz, I wasn't even thinking about him. But
trying to do that.
I mean, no, I don't think I really do. I think I could live with either Rodgers or Wilson for 1 year to be a bridge. But honestly, I'm good. I think Wilson for 2 years is the ideal scenario.
Okay.
But we'll see what it is. But right now, Joe Shane is sitting on his hands waiting until Wednesday. That's his big day to make a quarterback move.
Well, here's my question. I was arguing with Mr. Persan about this. If this quarterback class so weak that everybody should just pass on Cam Ward or Shador or Jackson Dart, because I'm like, here's my thing. It's rare for a complete quarterback class to have just total bust. I look back the last 25 years. I think it was 3 or 4 where there wasn't a viable starter. And I've got to say, like, there's so many teams, and yours being in there for sure, and the Titans and the Raiders. There's a lot of teams at the top that need a quarterback. I feel like, that's a good comment. I'm gonna hit in a second. I just feel like somebody's got to draft these guys, and they're gonna go. The 2 of them are probably gonna go in the top 10. Do you think the Giants should try to get a Cam Ward or Shador if they fall? And if the price isn't too high, would you want to move up for one of those guys?
Absolutely not. I know everybody's saying move up. I don't want to do anything like that. I mean, it's one thing to be desperate, but it's another thing to act like you're desperate. You know what I mean? It's like that in life, and it's like that in football too. So, I mean, we're sitting here at 3. If they fall, either one of those guys fall, I see value in both of them. I know people say, "Oh, they're not good. They're not elite." Okay, who is? So, what's up, Sam? So, I would probably say if they fall to 3, either one of those guys, we take the guy that falls. If they both fall, we take the Cam Ward. If they both fall, but yeah, we have to do it.
I was going to say, if you feel like you got your guy, and some people, I'm higher on Cameron Ward than most people. I think that he has potential to be a franchise quarterback. I know a lot of people don't feel that, but I think he does. And if you really feel like your guy is there, then you need to just get him.
I agree.
My only thing with Cam Ward is this, though. This is my only concern, because the talent is clearly there. My only concern is, do we have the kind of coaching personnel to help him with the fundamental things that I think he needs to deal with? Because he reminds me of certain quarterbacks who I don't want to name them, because it would just start a whole uproar if I just name them. But there's some comparisons I see, and it's like, if you let those kind of fundamental things get out of hand, it'll turn into a whole career of it, and it'll just be, you're the guy that that throws the ball away and gets sacked and that kind of stuff. So, do we have the kind of coaching staff to help him out with the fundamental issues that he needs to grow through? If we have that, Ward is definitely a good fit for us. If we have that, I don't know. I hear about Brian Daboll and his coaching acumen when it comes to quarterbacks, but I haven't seen it myself. So I have no idea if he's the quarterback whisperer like they say he is. So
they also had Daniel Jones. I think
that's not a good comparison.
There's only so much coaching you can do.
I'm talking about before. I'm talking about in Buffalo. I don't mean that. I'm talking about in Buffalo.
Fair, but he hasn't had much to work with since. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Ned, this is a good comment for you.
Oh, I see him. This one right here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's not even true.
I will say this. He's a Lions fan, for one. He needs to be worried about his own team, not what the Bears are doing, because last time I checked, they caught an L in that playoff game against the Commanders. So
this is true. The Lions have a lot to worry about. They're
the Bears
coordinators. I think the Lions need to be looking over their shoulder at us.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, the making money moves, man. The rest of the division's trying to catch up to these wannabe champs that want to be champs and aren't. That's the Lions.
Yeah, the Bears are off-season champs. They don't do that.
We're going for offensive linemen right now. We're trying to fix the needs that, we're just trying to make sure our quarterback actually can walk at the end of the season at this point. I mean, from my understanding, you look at what we're getting. We're getting Tunney. We're getting we got
you got Joe Tooney, man. You got Jonah Jackson.
I mean,
man, Dowling. Y'all are studs right now.
We just picked up Grady Jarrett from the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
I mean, we're rebuilding, kind of like what you is. The Giants are rebuilding. We're rebuilding. and we'll see how it goes. Sorry, Isaac. I know we were supposed to go Packers second.
No, man. Hit your team. You guys made a lot of moves. Okay, so you guys got Brady Jarrett. What all did you guys get?
So we got a center. We picked up Dalman, who was ranked number 12 in the NFL.com free agents list. So that was a definite need right there, because once we could let go of Cody Whitehair last year, kind of like lost our leader up there. We also picked up, like I said, Grady Jarrett, who was released earlier this today. And we were able to pick him up within like 4 hours. So it was like, oh, that was quick.
And that was big money for both of those guys, because
Dalman got record time.
Dalman got 3 years, $42 million. And how much did you guys gave Jared a bunch, right? 3 years, $43.5 million. That's $28 million a season right there.
A little more than what I would have got, but I mean, he's a 10-year vet and he produces. I mean, Falcons, I mean, I'm not saying that, whoo. Yes, Charlie.
I put it on there.
Explain that later.
Yes. We've got news on that too. We'll talk about it later. I forgot when I put it on all the destinations. So Jarrett's he turns 32. He hasn't been the same since he tore his ACL, but he still is a good defensive tackle, run stuffer. He can still situationally rush the passer. The Tooney move, man, for only a 4th round pick, that was freaking excellent.
I'm trying to find out that everybody else know that he was available.
No,
I don't understand.
It wasn't even in the forecast. I mean,
some of these moves are like, how'd y'all know? How'd y'all?
Not even Jackson was on the radar. So I mean, I was like, I guess
I didn't know Dalman was even. I didn't know anything about any of these guys, Dalman, Jackson, or Toon. I would have been like, hey, Giants, wake up, take a look at this. I had no idea until it was announced. By then it was too late.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling it right now. Let's just put it that way. I'm happy with what he's doing, and I know a lot of people sit there, well, he's just getting linemen. Well, that's how you win games. I mean, you build in the trenches. And
he got sacked 68 times, dude.
Yeah, he got murdered.
It's unheard of.
Yes. If you want Caleb to have a career past this season, you got to protect him.
Yes.
Oh, you got Jonah Jackson too. You acquired him for a 6th pick. So you guys picked up
from the Rams. Yeah,
love it.
The way I look at it is, we got 2 Pro Bowler caliber players. Now, yeah, Tony did get beat up a little bit during the Super Bowl, but let's face it, everyone has a bad game every once in a while. It just so happened to be his. And
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we worked on that, Charlie. I'm Med. That's Isaac. I don't know if Link actually talked about us, but yeah, no, I know that I didn't know that he left for boot camp just yet, but we knew that he was going that way. But we kind of figured it out once he hasn't talked to us in the last few weeks.
By the way, I also love the logo in the background, man. We're going to have to show it off a little later. Very cool. We renamed the show, everybody, to Sports Talk Therapy, because we just love to change the name of the show every 3 months.
Yes, we do.
So this is our new name. Great content, and we're going to change the name again. We'll change the name again by August. Don't worry about it.
No, we won't. I'm tired of making new things.
It looks awesome, though.
Okay.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, Med did that. Med, and it's funny because I've been making flyers and stuff, but Med is just killing it with his logos. Okay. So the Bears have made some money moves. They still probably could use, I mean, if Genty's there, that's an option. You guys could use another edge rusher, like you were saying, Med. Coach Med. I love it. You could use another edge rusher. Now that Keenan Allen's probably going to be gone. Receiver's a priority, but it's going to be your 3rd receiver. And running back look like the biggest needs for y'all. Is there anything else you're looking for?
First and foremost, I think we need to just look at pass rusher. I think that the running back and receiver classes are really deep in this draft compared to other positions. And if we were to actually get someone like James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee, maybe even maybe Michael Williams from Georgia, someone like that, or even JT Trolua from Ohio State, I'll be fine with any of those fellas. In fact, Kenneth Grant, come on down. I'll be happy with a big body in the middle. I mean, we just need to actually get the size. We need to get our trenches ready, and we need to just go.
Najee Harris just signed with the Chargers.
Thanks, Ted.
That is freaking good move. We're gonna talk all the moves, guys. We're gonna be on for about an hour. I'll hit my Packers really quick. But guys, I love your breakdowns on your teams. Okay, the Packers. Here's my thing. I love that we went out and got Nate Hobbs. When I was reading on him earlier, this is actually pretty interesting. I do too. For only 4 years, 48, so 12 mil a season. He was 11th in EPA last year with more than 40 snaps. So he was one of the better coverage corners in the league last year. And the way I'm seeing it is this makes Jair Alexander expendable. And I'm okay with trading him now. Nixon held up as our quarterback 1 shockingly last year. Now we can slide over to quarterback 2, which is a more natural fit for him. We still have Valentine. We'll probably let Eric Stokes go. Hobbs is great. I'm willing to trade Jair Alexander now and free up the money and land another draft pick so they can possibly go get a receiver or 2 in the second round, like we love to do. Give us more cracks at that apple because I wanted to go get DK, but it probably wasn't in the cards. And Devontae Adams, after he went to the Rams, which I think was a good move, Godwin re-signing with the Bucks was great for Baker Mayfield because McMillan came on strong and he still has Mike Evans. So he's got weapons galore and he's got a good receiving back in Rasheed White and they have Bucky. So the Bucks that offense is going to be loaded. The receiver market just dried up. I don't want Stephon Diggs at 32 coming off an ACL. I don't want DeAndre Hopkins who's 33. Those dudes have lost a step. I'm not even, if Cooper Kupp was the right price, I'd be interested, but not as a number 1. He's not number 1 anymore. So Packers need to prioritize receiver, but they also got to go out and get an edge rusher. And if they free up this money from Alexander quickly, they may be able to go out in the market and get one more player. But I love the Hobbs move. And then we signed Aaron Banks to a huge deal. I got to get the numbers on that.
Was it?
Yes,
yeah,
it
that was huge.
We lost.
I had it, but I don't know where.
Okay, the Banks deal.
It's like about 4 years, 77.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big amount of money for a guard, but we're letting Josh Myers med, so I didn't get to talk to you about this. We let our center go. He hasn't signed with anybody yet. So I'm thinking they're going to slide one of their guards to center, and they're going to start Banks at left guard. Jenkins will either slide to center or he'll play right guard, and then Newman will probably slide to center. So this gives them more flexibility on the inside of the line because Morgan was kind of a bust last year. So this is insurance on if Morgan doesn't pan out. And they decided to let Myers go, which I think was a smart move. He was solid, but he wasn't a great center. So instead of overpaying him, they decided to move on. So that's the Packers moves. They did make 2 big signings, and I'm happy about it. I'm hoping they do one more move, but we'll see. Any thoughts on the Packers before we go into some of these big deals, Med?
I mean, I like same thing. I mean, basically you're not really seeing people really overextend. I mean, left guard was a really big priority for y'all as far as being able to keep. I mean, you saw what happened when Jordan Love got hurt for those few games. Completely different offense. Yeah, they were able to win 2 out of 3 games, but it was mostly on the back of Josh Jacobs. And I mean, by just keeping your main piece healthy, I mean, you got to. And after what happened with y'all's Jordan Morgan pick last year, you kind of want to see what
I'm so mad they took Jordan Morgan and they passed up on Cooper DeJean and some of the other guys that were there for freaking Jordan Morgan. He better end up being a stud, but I don't think he's gonna be. I'm pretty sad about it. But all right, there was a lot of other big moves. Ned, you want to kick off the question? Then I got a few moves we could talk about.
All right, so the 5 that I want to talk about, and I just want y'all's honest opinion on each one of these is, I lost y'all. The first one, 5 that we can talk about now. This is just going to be them all kind of lumped in together. First one I got up on the list is DK Metcalf, who went to the Steelers on really just a 2nd round pick, which I thought it's a coup for the Steelers. The only problem with the Steelers is that they don't have anyone to really throw him the ball just yet. So
I'm hearing Aaron Rodgers, by the way.
You're hearing Aaron Rodgers.
Rumors,
Luck
and
with
I haven't seen. That's
But,
my thoughts.
So
It's not official yet, but we're gonna see.
anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, DK Metcalf. I actually like the move. Other receivers, of course, we'll just go down the list. But right now, how do y'all feel about DK Metcalf? What does he bring to the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as this goes?
Having a good buddy and partner that I was working with for a good while, hearing about DK Metcalf on a regular basis, so I got a chance to watch him more and pay more attention to him. And skill set wise, talent wise, ain't no question that he got it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a freight train. When he's moving, you want to get in front of him. You know what I'm saying? But the stuff between the ears is the thing that seemed to be the problem that I noticed the most in Seattle. So being under Mike Tomlin, that might help him out a lot. That could be a good thing. I think Tomlin can handle that kind of personality. I mean, he's had experience with it. If you go back and check it out, you know who I'm talking about. But Mike Tomlin's had experience with people who are interesting character-wise. Offensively, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen out here. If you're a Steelers fan, I know my daughter is. She probably doesn't even know that this move's been made. But honestly, what's going to happen here? Who's throwing him the ball? It's going to play a big, big part. But even then, you still got a lot of challenges with their offense on their line. And then, is George Pickens going to still be around? How much will he help? I mean, he still isn't going to block downfield, so that's not going to change anything. So how do you deal with that part? So they got him for a 2. Steelers did good. See if they can put it all together. Hi, man. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you.
Are you here? What happened? That was.
I'm trying to get back in there. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying is I got lost and I saw me and then I saw me again and I was like, oh, double the med. Sweet.
Wow, so, 2.
Yep.
Ted might be on or something over there, Bubba.
Weird, dude. All right, we're gonna keep it going. I don't know what's happening to Med.
He keeps disappearing. This is great.
Like an extra Med. Med, did you clone yourself?
I feel like I did.
This is freaky. Dude.
Live podcast is the best.
What is crazy is I'm gonna probably have to back out. I'll be back.
Yeah, just back out. We'll keep it going.
Oh, brother. Okay.
That was crazy. Okay. I like the DK move. I wanted him for the Packers. I don't think he's a top 5 receiver. He may not even be a top 10, but he can be a number 1 on a team. He doesn't miss time. He's gotten, multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He would have been a massive upgrade for everybody on my roster. The Packers need a receiver. Like, y'all have neighbors. He is miles ahead of anybody on the Packers roster. And I know I'm being a little overly negative, but without Christian Watson, they've got to draft somebody. I'm a little sad they weren't aggressive for DK. That would have been the home run move I wanted to see. This guy with Jordan Love, he would have been electric, dude. He wanted out of Seattle because JSN overtook him, but he can still be a number 1. And there's a reason the Steelers ponied up and then paid him $30 million because he's worth it. I'm angry my team didn't get involved, but they never do with receivers, so I knew they wouldn't. It's okay.
We got scared off of that price. Probably got scared off of that 1 and 3.
But
most teams probably did,
I agree, but when he only went for his second, it's like that's not that much. I would have gladly given that up. And yes, you have
if it was offered to you, that's my whole point. These guys are getting signed. I'm like, does everybody know they're getting signed, or they just what's happening? Because
I don't know, man. It's interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not
getting it.
I don't know, but I'm good with the Packers moves they've made so far. They just absolutely have to go out and get a receiver, and they have to get an edge rusher in the draft if they can't pull it off in free agency, which the market's starting to drop pretty quick at receiver, and it's starting to drop at edge. But I love the
edge rusher.
Yeah. Well, that was the problem in the Philly game is our run D was solid. Our secondary is pretty good. And we just in my opinion, we just upgraded at corner because Jair Alexander plays less than half the time the last 2 seasons anyways, and we just got a number 1 corner, and we already had Nixon, who was pretty solid. So we just upgraded our secondary. We upgraded our O-line. Now, if we can allocate our resources well, I think that there's more moves to be made. But the DK move for the Steelers is they haven't had that good of a receiver since Antonio Brown. George Pickens is not a number 1. He just makes athletic catches.
Mhm.
This is going to put him into his number 2 role where he belongs.
Indeed.
Now, you still got to get a running back because they lost Najee Harris, but they're starting to figure out their skill position group because Freiermuth's not bad at tight end, so it's starting to come together for the Steelers. They just got to get a quarterback now. The team I don't understand. Can we talk about it? What are the Seahawks doing?
Oh,
What
well,
are they
that was
doing?
actually the next player.
What do they do? But so you let go. Okay, so you let go of DK, who asked for a trade, but you didn't have to do it. You could try to work it out with him. You cut Lockett, who I agree with because he was a number 3 on that team, and he was going to get paid like 18 mil. You can't do it for a declining player. I get it, but I like the idea of letting Geno go, but bringing in Sam Darnold with less support than he had in Minnesota by a mile. How is that going to work out for the Seahawks? Like,
It's going to be a train wreck.
I don't see it. That team, they don't have an O-line.
They did it for that reason. That's why they did it, because they knew they were going to get presumably this person.
Mm-hmm.
So now what are you going to do? What Chicago did is what they should have did. They should have stacked up on O-line because Lord help them. They need help on the O-line for sure. Ask Geno if you think I'm lying. Ask Geno. He'll tell you. So now Darnold was there. The O-line market, I don't know how much. I can't tell if it's drying up or not, but I'm sure it's pretty close. You already lost 3 or 4 guys, 5 guys from the O-line free agent market already. So it's not a lot to pick from. It's slim picking. So Seattle's going to need all of that stuff and then some. They're probably going to get a lot of guys out of the draft. It's just a gut feeling. I mean, they're picking at 18. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to sit there. I'll be surprised because a lot of the guys they need on the O-line will be gone by then. How do you guys feel about the O-line crop in the draft? I kind of feel like the guys, it's like a handful of guys and then everybody else.
Very top heavy.
That's what I feel like. So Seattle doesn't get those guys early. It's a wrap for them. I don't know what they're gonna do. They need a lot of help, but one guy's not gonna fix it. So I don't know what they're doing exactly. They're not gonna see Kelvin Banks at 18. That's for sure.
They haven't had a good
Josh Simmons, maybe, but then Josh Simmons played like what 5 games. So he's getting first round credence for 5 games. And the games that he missed were all of the elite matchups that would have been a great evaluator for him. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. Seattle's in it.
Stop bruising ball.
Seattle is in it.
I agree. The Seahawks haven't had a good O-line since Marshawn Lynch, and then they started trading it away when they traded for the tight end the Packers had. I can't remember his name. Jimmy Graham. They traded their center away back then, and they haven't prioritized offensive line and running game since they had Marshawn Lynch in that running game, and it's been 10 years. They've been bad. Their offensive line's been bad for a long time now. They're kind of lucky Geno held up, honestly. That O-line's one of the worst in the league. I don't love their tight ends. They really just have JSN. I'm not a huge fan of the running backs either, but the O-line's so bad. It's not gonna work for Darnold because in Minnesota he had great coaching. He doesn't have it in Seattle. He had amazing receivers. He has 1 in Seattle. He had Aaron Jones playing lights out, one of his best seasons. He doesn't have that in Seattle. He had TJ Hawkinson. He doesn't have that in Seattle. It's just JSN, and he's awesome. But they've got a lot of holes to fill in the draft. I feel like this is one of those, like, they just wanted their name in free agency, and this isn't going to work out.
I'm not sure which was coming first, the chicken or the egg. I'm not quite sure. It feels like they didn't address the O-line because they had guys like Russell Wilson, guys like that were, I guess, considered mobile, that they feel like, it's no big deal. They can just scramble out of the pocket if things get bad. But that's not the way you solve these kind of problems. You want them to have to do that if they don't have to do it because they end up becoming a runner and then they get treated like a runner.
That's a good point.
So,
Ned,
yeah, I'm not sure what their strategy is. It doesn't look good to me. It looks weird. Sam Darnold can't do what Rush used to do. Darnold's not that. He's never been that.
no,
So
he's not. Ned, what are your thoughts?
On Sam Darnold or the Seahawks franchise?
Both.
I think we're going to watch Sam Darnold regress to his New York days, to be honest. It's just, JNS is or JSN, he's top notch. He's a great receiver, but you're basically taking a guy who was coming out of the perfect situation with what he had in Minnesota, and then you're plopping into probably what I would be saying is like hell for NFL quarterbacks, because you're taking everything away. Like besides JNS and running backs Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, what can you say is on their offense?
I can't even say much about Kenneth Walker or Charbonnet because I don't think either of them is an RB1. I think there are better running backs in this draft for the Bears. They could use one in the second round too, man. You could get Travion Henderson. If Hampton slides into the second, you got him. You got Caleb Johnson. I've been scouting these guys. There's a lot of running backs. This is a deep class. Running back is important. And I think the Seahawks, I don't think they've got that guy. And Darnold needs that. Every quarterback does, though, man. Like, outside of Mahomes, and he still needed a solid running game. And last year, you saw what losing Pacheco did, even to him. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen needs a running back. Lamar Jackson, look at what Derrick Henry did for him. Look at what Saquon Barkley did for the Eagles. Najee Harris actually could be good for the Chargers. He's not dynamic, but he's solid. That's what they need. They just need somebody solid behind Herbert. I really like that move for them. That was a perfect move. He's a power back. If they might go and draft somebody else that's only a 1-year deal, but Harbaugh loves that. And Najee Harris kind of fits that mold. I think it could work out really well for them.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Harris fan, but I like the idea of him with a Harbaugh offense. They're going to run him a lot.
No, he's definitely he fits that mold, and especially after San Diego let go of Gus Edwards, you already know it's going to happen. So,
and Dobbins is a free agent, so he's probably not coming back either. So,
yeah.
And
I was going to say Dobbins, yeah.
They got to go
Harris and Vidal show basically.
But now you got Ladd, you got Najee Harris, you got Herbert. They go out and get a receiver or a non-crappy tight end who drops the ball in the playoff game 3 times. You're starting to work on something.
Yeah.
So you don't like Will Disley, huh?
I think they should cut Will Disley. When you play that poorly in the playoffs, Mista, I have serious questions about if you should be on my roster.
I hear you.
He really, really screwed the pooch that game.
Yeah.
I keep it a PG because I did put this on my Facebook. So you know what? Jason's right. I got to give him credit. He said that. And then he said Aaron Rodgers would sign with Minnesota, which is a dark horse move. So we're going to see.
He also said the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl too, but we got
Oh boy. Okay, well. I was going to give Jason a compliment, but I can't do the other part. But no,
I didn't say it though.
This is Sam Darnold's big break, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of hard to hate on him. It's kind of hard to hate on him. This is his big break. This is his first time having a real big. This is his first really lucrative contract, if you want to call it that. He hasn't had that.
So
he's been on like 4 teams.
Yeah,
he's 4 teams and he hasn't had this. I'm like,
yeah, this is his 4th team. Yeah,
Jets.
Let's be real.
Niners.
Yeah, this is his 5th team.
I feel like I'm missing one. There's another one in there somewhere. Jets, Niners, Mini,
and Carolina.
There it is, Carolina.
Yeah,
this is his first big contract, man. Let that man eat. It ain't gonna look good. He's gonna get sacked out of his mind, but he's making money. Let him go do him.
I was going to say he's now got generational wealth. I mean, his kids.
I would sign for $40 million a year or 30-something mil. Why not? Like,
wear that big helmet they have. Wear that one every game.
With that big old Seahawk on the side.
Wear that one. It's important.
Send me to Seattle where it rains 200 days a year. I've got nothing on the O-line. I've got crap running backs. But if you're going to pay me $33 million, I would go do that too. So Can't hate on Sam Darnold. He does have JSN. He's legit. If they go get another receiver in the draft or start beefing up that O-line, it could actually be better than we expect. The Cardinals are not that great. I know they signed Josh Sweat. They're not that great. The Rams are solid, but the 49ers, I don't think are going to come back.
All right, well, we're going to move on from Sam Darnold because I said 10 o'clock, Isaac. Here
All right,
we
what you
are,
got?
40 minutes into it. We ain't even got past the
Oh
third.
wow!
Go ahead.
Wow!
Devontae
Sorry.
Adams getting signed by the Rams. What do you feel about that?
I love it. It's a good move. Upgrade over Cooper Kupp. Good price too.
It's a non-needle mover for me. Non-needle mover. It's not doing anything for me.
It is for me.
Nothing at all.
He's
kinda
the number
like it a
2
little
behind
bit.
Nakua.
Yeah.
He's still solid, man.
Did somebody tell him he's a number 2? Does he know?
He doesn't
Well,
know yet.
Nakua gets banged up a lot, so he might be a number 1 frequently.
That's what I'm talking about. This is a non-needle mover, right? This is like
All right.
not a big deal.
Okay.
So I apologize for that, but we gotta just keep going. So
Good, bud.
another player that I was talking about, this is relatively new, only done about 5 hours ago, and I feel like, it felt like his chance was going to be this past year, and I'm not going to say it's his chance this year because he's going to the Jets. Justin Fields is your new quarterback 1 for the New York Jets. How's it feel?
They're just such a bad organization. I don't think it's going to work out.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers
It feels like he's about to get his chance, like Darnold got his chance. This is kind of what this is it. This is your chance right here. You're gonna have Garrett Wilson. I guess Lazard is still on the roster. I guess you still have him. You don't have Tyron Smith, who's been hurt anyways. He's a free agent. You lost your tight end. Your tight end 1. He's a free agent.
Yeah. You got a good defense. You got a good running back. Well, when he's healthy, you got a good running back, and then you got a good receiver in Garrett Wilson. But yeah, similar thing is what's going on over in Seattle.
4 your defensive starters, are free agents. So
good for him for getting 20 mil a season. If I don't think it's going to work, but I've always wondered what Moorfield had. I hope they go get him another receiver. But that O-line is pretty bad.
this is his chance. This is his chance to do what Chicago presumably wouldn't let him do. No offense, man, but
No,
it would just say that it would say they didn't really give him a chance to, they just kind of threw the playbook at him, didn't give him a chance to kind of really develop the right way. Here's his chance now. He's seen enough action. Here's your chance to lead a team.
And
Don't think it's going to happen, but this is your chance.
Yeah, no, and like you said, I mean, this will be his 4th offensive coordinator in 5 years. So, I mean, you don't really get to get in there if you're changing out your offensive coordinators like underwear. So Coop has not landed yet. So we're still on that.
Not the Packers, please no.
Oh,
Jason,
he's going to tell you the Packers are going to get him now.
Well, I'm going to answer Jason's question with somebody else instead, not the Packers. I'm going to answer Jason's question with the New England Patriots. These guys got money still, and only wide receivers. They're mid.
I could see him going to Washington.
Kendrick Bourne is the best of them, and he's mid too. So the Pats could have a good chance to bring him in as a wide receiver 1. Totally upgrades their offense by shifting Bourne these guys to where they need to be, not wide receiver 1 because Bourne's not that. So, and they had the money to do it. I'm not sure about Washington's money. That's why I didn't name them. I'm not sure how much money they have left because they've been spending.
Well,
so
they just
I'm not sure what they have left.
So,
and yeah, they got Larry Tunsil. They got my God,
yeah.
Commanders. I could just talk about them for a minute. They made a bunch of moves. Money moves, not just Debo, not just.
But we'll talk about that later, Isaac. We got last guy that we speaking about money. It really did feel like the next guy that I'm going to mention felt like it was for the money. Myles Garrett staying in Cleveland after he was very adamant about leaving Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, what's your idea on that?
I'm shocked. Because I was rooting for him. Like, oh man, yeah. Stand against the establishment, rage against the machine. I thought that's what this was, but it wasn't that at all. He played us. This is all about the money, all about the cash.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave him the money, and he said, I'm here for life. I'm a Brown forever. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were being abused in this place. So he's good, probably one of the best defensive players in the league, if not the best. You're in Cleveland. Sorry, brother. Nothing's happening for you. They've been a top 5 defense for the past 3, maybe 4 years or so. So that's never really been a problem. It's the other side of the ball that's keeping y'all from winning deep into the season and into the playoffs. So he got his money, but offense is so problematic, and they got so many holes to fill. It's going to be rough for him. So, congrats. Yeah.
Izac, what do you feel on the Myles Garrett situation?
I just think it's just disappointing if they weren't going to trade him, and they weren't even entertaining it. This just shows bad organizational practice. That when you have a dude that's been there for 7 years, that you're not even going to meet with him. Good for him for getting the bag, but I kind of wish he'd pressed harder to get traded because the Browns are going to suck. They are going nowhere. They're going nowhere. They've got Judy, who was solid last year. Nick Chubb's gone. They don't have a running game. Offensive line's bad. Defense has got some pieces, but I wish he'd press harder to get out, but good for him for getting the bag.
They're going to really get Abdul Carter now. Now I know they're going to get it.
That's going to be entertaining if they do.
That or Hunter. Now I know they're going to do one of those two guys now. Now I really believe it now.
They better go get a quarterback because they don't have one, but we'll see what happens.
They don't? Kenny Pickett just came over.
They don't have a quarterback. They need to go get one.
No, the whole Myles Garrett thing, like I agree with both of you.
You don't like Bailey Zappi?
Don't know.
Sorry, man. There are too many moves to talk. I talk too long on Darnold. There's a million things going on. We'll normally start this show at 8 Eastern.
There's a reason why we're trying to speed. I'm not normally this adamant about speeding it up, but I get up at 5 a.m. So, so basically 6 questions, and we're going to answer. Right. I could go a little bit over, not too much over, but we can go a little bit over if it does, because these are the questions I really wanted to ask. And starting with you, Mr. You'll be first, Izac second, and I'll have to go third. Number 1, who was the best re-signing for a team this offseason thus far?
You flipped out. You said the best re-sign?
Yes. Best player that got re-signed.
Yeah. Ravens, Ronnie Stanley, 3 years and 60. Lamar Jackson's at his house right now, giving him a mani pedi. He's so happy. He's going to stick around. So, yeah. That's the best sign.
Taking them down to the massage parlor where Justin Tucker.
No, Lamar. He's doing that at Lamar's house. That's how much he loves. That's my Lamar loves him right now. He's doing that at his house. But yeah, that's just a good resign.
That was good.
Very good.
Does Josh Allen count? Because if he does, then I'm going to Josh Allen.
I guess so. It's an extension, I guess.
It was an extension, so he's.
Pretty much getting re-signed. But
if it was a re-signing, I like Godwin. I think he's an awesome player for the Bucs. He was great last year. Look at his stats last year before he got hurt.
Yeah,
when he was on the field. When was that?
He's been a little injury prone, but when he
makes more than Mike Evans, and he plays a third of the game that Mike Evans plays. Come on, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but he was.
You like that for real? Last year. I'm sorry, man. We going over with banter like this, but that's crazy.
No. I do because
I can't pick that one.
No, even though it's 22 mil, he's a little injury prone. He's been awesome.
He's a wee bit. He's a wee bit laddie.
Yeah, but at least he won a Super Bowl. There's other guys that got re-signed that didn't win a thing. So I hate that he's injury prone, but when he plays, he produces. And
fair.
You're keeping weapons around Baker Mayfield. I don't like it because I have McMillan in Dynasty, but I like it for the Bucs because you keep another weapon around Baker. I actually really like that move. So that's my argument. I get what you're saying. He is injury prone, but he has won a Super Bowl with them. So, but other than that, it's Josh Allen. That was a great move for them. I'd love to see him win a Super Bowl, but you locked up the most talented quarterback in the league probably for another 4 or 5 years. So it's Josh Allen. And
whenever you lock a player up like that for that long of time with that much money, you're basically locking up your salary cap too. The one guy I really like that got re-signed is actually the Chiefs re-signing Nick Bolton. I think his an extremely underrated linebacker. He's one of my top 5 linebackers as far as in the middle. This is like a really underrated signing, and I really do like it. So I'm going to go with Nick Bolton.
Yeah, I like it too.
So, number 2, what trade or signing made the most sense for you as a team? Now, that's including not re-signings, because we just covered that. That like a trade, like what we were talking about with DK Metcalf, or just a regular free agent signing.
Oh, start with me off. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Milton Williams deal with the Pats.
That's a strong.
I really wanted him, and that was like, oh, that's fantastic. Number one, they needed help there at tackle, somebody who can rush the passer, and he can do that. Other side of Christian Barmore, it's going to be they could be a beast out there, and they got Harold Landry back there too, and got some other guys on defense. Carlton Davis from the Bucks and Spillane from the Steelers, I think it was. They look incredible right now. So that Milton Williams deal, that could be one of the number one deals made in free agency.
They also got Harold Landry. From
Landry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah, they got a fantastic defense.
A lot of people talked about Milton Williams was the best defensive player on Philadelphia the last in an NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. What you got for me, Isaac?
I like this Larry Tunsil trade, and I love that. I want to see if Mr. U comes at me again because I liked his take with the Godwin thing. That was good. My dad's been in my ear about Godwin with football because he I didn't even notice how well he did at the beginning of last season. But I like Larry Tunsil for the Commanders. Deebo Samuel, it's kind of like what Mista said about Adams. It doesn't super move the needle, but as a number 2 behind Scary Terry, Deebo could be an interesting weapon for them. But getting Larry Tunsil to solidify that tackle position with Jaden Daniels, tackle's vital, man. If you don't like, the Chiefs had problems with this, and you watched it come to fruition in the Super Bowl. I love this move for the Commanders. They are going all in. They've made multiple moves, and that was my favorite one. Tunsil's a beast. He's only 30 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say he still has 3 more years of solid production.
Oh, yeah. He turned 31 right before the season starts. The dude is a 5-time Pro Bowler. The Texans shouldn't have given him up.
I don't understand.
Why do that? I don't get it. They're trying to protect C.J. Stroud. They've had problems with it. I don't understand that move. I don't.
Unless they know something that we don't know.
Yeah. So one move, I think, as far as like the trade goes, I actually like Kristen Kirk going to the Houston Texans. I was a little kind of surprised. Like that, that he went from Jacksonville to the Texans. You're going to your division rival. And, of course, this will he will probably be a little cheaper than what Stefan Diggs was. But, I mean, Diggs will probably be going up to the Packers for all I know. But,
oh, gosh, no. Man, don't wish that on me. I know we started the show late. That's 8 right there, buddy. That's 8. I don't want Stephon Diggs. No.
Want Cooper Kupp?
No.
Jason, Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs?
No. No, don't do it.
But no, Laremy Tunsil is actually one of my favorite pickups as well. I really do like that signing. I think I thought it was a little pricey with all the draft picks they gave up, but like you said, they're going all in, and you don't want Jaden Daniels to run for his life. You want him to run whenever he needs to. And as far as that goes, I think that was a great pickup for the Commanders. Number 3. Which move so far has been the biggest head scratcher for each one of y'all?
Well, I got 3 of them, but I'm going to leave 2 of them out, obviously, for time.
You could go ahead and carpet bomb all 3 of them.
Yeah, I talked about Chris Godwin, so you already got that. He makes more than Evans and plays less. I don't get it. Jimmy G on a 1-year deal. I'm like, okay, I don't get that one either because Stetson Bennett's been back there for 2 years. He has no stats, no record, no numbers to his name. If he goes somewhere, there's nothing to even use to help. There's no stats. There's no tape for him. For 2 years?
Yeah.
All the entire 2 years?
Feels like it.
Let's move on. But the biggest, okay. I thought he was good the first year. Okay. Well, mine is De'Ami Brown. I know people were talking about before Deebo came that he was going to be wide receiver 2. I never really bought into that. He had 310 yards in 4 seasons. He couldn't get past that point. So he's not a wide receiver 2 either. And they just gave him a good bit of money in Jacksonville. I think a year and $10 million. That's a lot for somebody who hasn't cracked 350 in 4 seasons. So that was making me like, what are they doing? Sometimes Jacksonville does some good stuff in free agency, and then sometimes stuff like this is like, what do you do? What was that? This is my head scratcher.
I was going to say that's up there with the Gabe Davis pickup last year. Or 2 years ago, whenever they got Gabe Davis, I was like, it's Gabe Davis. Izac, what you got for me, brother?
It was 2 years ago. Okay, mine's a small move. It's only a $3 million deal that the Cowboys made. But why would you sign Javonte Williams when you have Rico Dowdle, who's better?
I think he's going to, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But so that's Jerry being cheap when they just moved $50 million. They moved 56.5 mil. 56.6, I believe. I'm on the Cowboys extensively because it's the best reality TV show in the country. That's the Dallas Cowboys.
Facts.
Why would you move 56 mil and let your running back, who was one of your bright spots last year, go for a running back who couldn't even hold down the starting job in Denver? Riddle me that.
Because you plan to draft Jaunty in the first round.
Probably.
That's why.
That's probably why.
There's no other explanation for this nonsense without question.
I'm gonna laugh if Jinty's gone, and then they're like, "What do we do?" Hampton's great. I would draft him in the end of the first round. I love him, but I think this is gonna backfire on the Cowboys. So I think that move was head scratching. And Ned, I promise I won't take long on it, but I don't understand signing Sam Darnold after losing all your pieces. But we've already talked about that, so that's another.
I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about it a little bit more, go right on ahead.
He's not going to be at 12 anyways. He's not going to be sitting at 12 anyways. Dallas got to go up to get him. This is crazy.
You're right. I think Chicago, if he even falls to 10, I think Genty might go by 6. But, dude, no, Jason, no. It's not enough.
Hey, man, let me tell you why you don't have to worry about that. Jason, love you, man. Nothing against you, brother. You know why that's not going to happen? They already got him rumored already to go on somebody. It's been happening for the past 2 hours. He's trying to get a deal for him to go to Cleveland. They've been talking about it for 2 hours. So if they get the money right, that's a done deal. So he's not going to Green Bay. So don't worry about it, Izac. You'll be all right.
They're better
if he goes anywhere, he's going to Cleveland.
At this point, the receiver market's dried up. Unless they could land Garrett Wilson, which the Jets are not going to do. Just go draft some guys. There's nobody out there that's worth it at this point. That's my opinion. But anyways, Ed, I just think we talked about it. I think Darnold's going to fall flat in his face. So I think it's a head scratcher for a bad organization. But what's your biggest head scratcher, Ben?
Right now, so one of the ones that I'm actually looking at, and I mean, y'all pretty much nailed the 2 that I thought of. So that's why now I'm digging through here and seeing what else I see. Oh, look, one of my favorite players, Dre Greenlaw, just went to the Denver Broncos. I like that.
Yeah, that was slick. I like that move a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So staying with the Chiefs, the one that I would actually say is a head scratcher for me, and it's mostly because of the simple fact that he's so injury prone. But why would you re-sign Marquise Brown to another 1-year deal for $11 million when he didn't? He basically sat on the sideline most of the season with an injury. I mean, when he's on the field, I think he's great. When he's off the field, I mean, if anything, maybe I have to agree with Damien on this. We have to hit some of these comments, but
yeah. Bears finally, the Bears are fixing the GD offensive line. He wants them to trade for Trent Williams. That'd be fun.
No. Trent Williams is going to be in a retirement home in the next 2 years. Trent Williams, he's a good player and everything, but he's well past his prime. Let's go ahead and get someone young that we can sit over there in the left side. Even that kid from Mizzou. So I mean, go ahead and put him there. But yeah.
No, I don't get the Chiefs move, man, because Hollywood Brown, like Godwin, I was looking at it. Godwin missed 10 games last year. He's missed a handful before, but he actually is fairly durable. Hollywood Brown, how many times has he played 16 games? I got to check this out. Like, has he ever played a full season? in
I
his
think he did
career?
once.
One time. Okay. So he is
with Baltimore.
20. He's going to be 28 years old. And I'm looking at stuff right now. He played 16 games twice. He played 2 games last year. He hit 1,000 yards one time. He missed over 7 games the other seasons. He's just not. No, it's not. Doesn't solve the Chiefs' problems. They've got Xavier Worthy. They got Rashee Rice coming back. They would have been better off drafting somebody in this class. There's enough receivers out there.
Yeah, and you got Worthy from last year. I mean, you got a playmaker right there. Go ahead and build around with. Get another tight end. Get another tight end. You're going to need one. I think Noah Gray is actually a decent one, but you're going to need something different.
He's not Kelsey, and they let Thuney go. They could use that $10 million on their guard. Their offensive line is in shambles. Shambles. It really is.
Shambles.
Shambles. Med, what you got next?
So number 4, this question is, what team has done the most to help their team succeed the most, like front office? Like with all the signings and everything, what team so far, and I don't care what Locked on the Line says, it's not the Bears. What team did the most to help their team succeed?
The Bears.
I can tell you it's not
the Bears.
Seattle.
It's the Bears. Immediate upgrade, man. Pass protectors, man. Caleb is the number 1 pick. They helped him. I mean, theoretically, they helped him. I don't have anybody better than that right now.
I think it's
Chicago.
Bears, actually, I think it's I'm not trying to be biased. I really do like what the Bears have done. This time they.
No, you don't.
No, I do. They made good moves. No, you're right. I don't, because they made good moves.
I know you don't. You ain't kidding me, pal.
The Commanders got Laremy Tunsil. Who else did they get? They got Laremy Tunsil for a 4th. They had to
John
give up
Bates. They re-signed Zach Ertz. They got Javon Kinlaw, which is a low-key really good move, and they brought their defensive leader Bobby Wagner back.
And they got Debo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to be really fair. I think it's a tie between.
And Michael Gallup's coming in for a visit.
Oh, the Bears also signed Dayo Abengibo. Who the hell is that?
I don't know him.
Oh, defensive end from the Colts.
Yes, that was good too.
I don't remember him.
That's why I almost give it to you guys. Hey, BBB, what's up?
Triple B in the house.
49ers. Oh man, we gotta talk. I'm gonna go tie here, man, because I was looking at the comment. I'm gonna go tie between you and Washington. I feel like I like Washington that they hit different positions and the guys they brought back. But I love the moves you all have made. I really can't think of anybody else at the moment.
Me either, man. Great job by you guys.
Ben, what do you think?
I'm glad that I'm doing such a good job for the Bears. Be honest, one team that I actually do like what they're putting up here. I like what the Panthers are doing, believe it or not. And
what have they done?
Well, they re-signed J.C.
Horn.
They also got Bobby Brown III. They got Hershon Wharton, who was a really good defensive tackle alongside Chris Jones. They signed Trayvon Mohwig, who used to play for the Raiders last year, has been pretty solid there. Mike Jackson, another cornerback. They re-signed Tommy Tremble, and really the biggest signing that they have that a lot of people won't really think about is they re-signed Andy Dalton to mentor Bryce Young a little bit more.
They got Wharton too from the Chiefs. That's a good move.
Yeah, no, like a lot of their moves are really good. I really don't like what Tampa Bay's doing, which is resigning all their aging players. I mean, they got Levante David, Hassan Reddick. He was gone for a whole year. And in fact, I kind of just segued accidentally into my next question, which team did the least? And I'll go through and look at it again. But right now, I'm saying the Bucks. Mr. U, who do you have?
It's not NFC East bias, just to be clear. I know somebody's going to think that, but it's the Cowboys. You got $52.7 million to spend. They went and got Ozer back in, and then that's fine. But you got Michael Parsons sitting out here, and the longer they wait, the worse this money situation gets, because then you're going to have less options, and you need to take care of. I mean, they did sign a long snapper, so kudos for them.
But they overpaid that defensive tackle for $20 million. Did you see that move?
Yeah, that was that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Ozikazuwa or whatever his name is. Yeah, but this is not good. Michael's going to want $40 million a year, and these guys are not in a position to take care of that right now. By the looks of things, and Damian is not the Giants, man. As bad as we are, we're not doing the least. What are you talking? Come on, man, don't do that.
I love this stuff.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Damian. Damian, don't do that. Don't do that, man.
Damian's hilarious. I miss Damian so much.
Don't do that, man.
Damian's great. He
32 teams in the league. How many did we name tonight? Out of 32 teams, how many did we name?
Like
we didn't name 32. That means exactly. That means 25 of them didn't do anything today. How are they worth not worse than the Giants? Come on, man. We did something. They didn't do anything. Pick one of those guys.
The Cowboys signed Javonte Williams, premier running back.
Oh, brother. Did you watch him in Denver Did you watch that last year?
Well, that's why I said that move was bad.
What's funny is last year
they made two moves, Damian, not one move. Come on, be accurate. They made two moves, sir.
I screwed up earlier. I forgot about the Aaron Jones.
They made four moves actually, but
yeah.
Didn't Dallas re-sign their long snapper last year too?
Yes.
Or the year before, yeah.
I swear Jerry just needs a press release, and he's like, "Who can we re-sign?"
Re-signed a long snapper.
And the
Super Bowl
dude,
here.
you're making so much money. He's so freaking cheap with outside of the big guys he has to resign. He is so cheap. Like he signed Dak, way overpaid. He signed CeeDee Lamb, a little overpaid, but at least
he is cheap, man.
That's why he is cheap. He has to be cheap because he paid Dak Prescott all that money.
No, he was cheap long before that. And Mike is going to end up walking.
Dak Prescott is going to end up on those.
Mike is going to end up walking.
On the career rating list, Dak is going to be like number 1, and then you're going to see how many playoff victories next to his name, and it's going to be like 3 by the end of his career, and it's just going to look. It already looks bad, but it's going to look so much worse in 4 years. I'm here for the show, guys.
He's just making money. He don't care about that team. He's making money. He don't care about that team. Win no championship.
You know how much money he's making? Absolutely. Good job, Jerry.
Well, he's making
a blind squirrel get a nut at least once in a while. Come on.
Oh, I love it. All right, man. I want you to get sleep. What's your last one? And I promise 8 o'clock.
You're good. You're good. No, Dallas for both of y'all, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Miami.
What?
Yeah.
What have they done? I was trying to track all the moves today, and I got terrible.
So they got Larry Burrow, who was a backup.
Oh, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson. There you go. The two.
Are we really?
Replacer.
This is the second coming. The second coming. It just really. Coming. What we're talking about.
Zach
this
Wilson
is it.
Right there. That's it right there.
I'm gonna die, Zach Wilson. I love it.
Seriously though.
Because of that.
Seriously though. Okay. Hold on. Seriously. They did something good that I didn't know about until I just found it. They got James Daniels. He went out with an Achilles, but he was a fantastic guard.
Yeah.
He had B plus grade, but that was good for them. That's a good thing. If he's healthy, it's good. No, you don't like James Daniels?
No. James Daniels is a good guard, like you said. But when you sit there and you have Zach Wilson, because you know Tua is going to get hurt, Tua will go down at one point.
Fair, that's fair.
Zach Wilson. Think about that. Think about the headline when you hear,
ladies and gentlemen, your starting quarterback, Zach
Wilson.
Number 2.
Look at the echo. Wilson.
And he'll be overthrowing Tyreek Hill with no problem. I mean, on the third overthrow it, he makes all the throws away from his receiver. So,
question: do you think they trade Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill will probably force him to trade Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, especially if Tua gets hurt again.
I thought it was only going to happen already, but then I guess he changed his mind. He backtracked off of his statements. His agent probably pushed him through that part. I'm thinking that by next year, he's going to want to be out of there. I don't think he's going to want to stay.
I don't know who's going to want to pay him 30. He's 30. He's 31. He's smaller, and he looks like he's already losing a step. But his quarterback situation last year was pretty terrible. So yeah, I'm not a big guy when he's healthy, and he wasn't healthy. So
I think this is the end of the road. That's me personally though. I think this is the end of the road for him.
Yeah, I agree. I flipped him for 2 seconds.
We end up going back to the Chiefs. Watch him go back to the Chiefs.
That'd be fun.
Bet you go to the Chiefs.
I am game for that.
I don't know if it's going to be fun, but it's almost an eventuality in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen too. I don't see him not doing that.
You said your pick on that one, right, Med?
On what?
On the last question?
Yeah.
He said Miami. So you got one more left.
Got one more.
So number 6, blank is going to be the biggest free agent bust this coming season.
This is a tough question because free agency ends in July. So it's like a whole, I don't know who we're going to see, but for right now, what we've seen so far, and don't let the NFL Network fool you, because every time they say his name, they say it with all this emphasis, like, oh, Dan Moore Jr. No. Dan Moore Jr., you can try to tell it, but he's not it. And the Steelers let him walk out real easy. I think they pack a bag for him and let him go. If you're the Titans, ask yourself, why did the Steelers not fight for him? He was so great. Titans give him top 5 money. He's going to be the biggest bust in this draft. Pass blocking grades below average. Run block below average. What do you do for a living again? It's going to be awful. He's my bust so far.
I think Brady Jarrett's going to be a bust. I think.
Oh, come on.
Oda Bingo is going to be a bust. I think.
Oda Bingo? Who is that?
I think that. Who's the guy you guys traded for, man? I'm just kidding. I think it's obviously Sam Darnold. I think Javonte is not even going to start for the Cowboys. So
you're kidding me?
Sam Darnold's going to be the biggest bust. He is. Absolutely. It might be Geno with the Raiders, but at least he's got Brock Bowers. But he's not technically a signing, so I didn't list Geno. But it's going to be Sam Darnold. He's going to fall flat in his face in Seattle. And I feel bad for him, but it's going to happen. Guaranteed.
You seem kind of happy though. You said you feel bad, but you seem happy about.
Because I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that
his destruction amuses you. Okay, I don't understand.
No, it's the whole Geno thing that they let go of Geno, and their answer was Sam Darnold. It just cracks me up. The Seattle.
You don't think it's an upgrade? You don't think it's an upgrade?
No. I asked Matt this question earlier. I was like, is Darnold an upgrade over Geno? We just laughed. We couldn't even answer the question.
Wow.
I think my exact words was like, you need to stop. You just need to stop.
We'll take that as an emphatic no. Okay.
Yeah, not so much.
Wow. That's a good one though. That's a gutsy one.
I hate to pound on him. If I was thinking of another one, it's hard for me actually because Darnold.
You already gave him 3 of them. I just forgot the other one. All I heard was Darnold.
No, I was playing about the Bears. I was playing on the Bears one. I was messing with. I was just gonna list all the Bears moves from Ed as plus.
Oh, come on now.
No, the worst move was probably Geno Smith because that right there. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. U. If you ever read any of my comments, I consider what Carroll did with Geno Smith to be his greatest accomplishment when he made that man a Pro Bowler in his first year in Seattle. Sam might want to throw a rock at me when I say he's like, it's a Super Bowl. Nope. If you watch Geno Smith play, you know, right?
Sam's mad at me. I talked about Ryan Tannehill a lot today. He's really upset with me. I told him he wasn't that great, and he got really upset. So
Tannehill was decent.
Is this what we have to I'm going to have to expect this all the time. I mean, we can't talk about each other's teams. It's just what. I mean, not going to be okay. No, Tannehill deserves a lot of what he. Come on now.
Well, I said he was a good system quarterback.
Okay, just think of it like this: you're talking about a guy whose quarterbacks the last 20 years have been, after Steve McNair, Charlie Whitehurst, Jake Locker.
I'm going to pull up this list.
Go ahead, pull up that list. It's a lot of players. Vince Young is probably the only one that really takes the needle, but he had one.
Please do. You had me at Whitehurst.
Oh, this is a fun list. Vince Young. I
Yep.
love it.
Mhm.
Matt
Okay.
Hasselback for 1 season, 1.5.
I forgot about him.
Gary
Well, you're
Collins.
going to forget a lot of these names.
Terry
Billy
Collins. I remember
Bullock.
that one.
There's
Billy-
3
Who?
top 10 picks in there.
Billy
Who?
Bullock started multiple games and multiple seasons for the
Who's
Titans.
that?
Yeah, I didn't even heard of it.
VLEK, right? I remember him.
Rusty Smith.
Mhm.
I remember him too.
Jake Locker.
Mhm.
Then you got
Washington.
the
Can't forget
list
it.
going, or you want
I
me to
can't
keep
forget
going?
him.
Huh?
I can't forget him.
You
Who
want
else? That's it?
Med, you want me to keep going?
Keep going. No, there's a reason why
all right.
he is delusional
Just
about
use him.
Tannehill being great.
I just said he was good. He had a good 2 or 3 years, but there was a ceiling with the team led by him. It was you were not getting to a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback. You're just not.
And he had
Ryan-
AJ Brown as his receiver too.
Oh, I forgot about that. I did. I forgot he had Derrick Henry, but he did have AJ Brown. You're right. Near the end of his tenure there, but he did have him. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ooh, that's a good one. Matt Hasselback for that year and a half. Jake Locker. Ooh, this one's great. Zach Mettenberger. Marcus
LSU.
Mariota. He's the truth. Marcus Mariota, you gotta love him. Matt Castle started a couple games for him. Blaine Gabbert got 3 starts in 2018. Ryan Tannehill lasted the 4 years. Not even. He didn't even last 4 years. That's why I'm like, that's like his tenure was so short. I'm spoiled as a Packers fan. I understand this. I was bitching to him about the Packers not signing receivers. He's like, get some perspective. I'm a Titans fan. I was like, that's fair. Malik Willis, who actually looked good for Green Bay. Joshua Dobbs started in 22. And then they had Will Levis, the truth, the magic man. Ryan Tannehill, again in 23 for a few games. And then Mason Rudolph last year. That's a list, gentlemen.
Like you forgot some people. You said Neil O'Donnell?
No. I said that was since Steve McNair. Since Steve McNair.
Oh,
you're right. You're
Oh.
right. Neil O'Donnell for 1 game in 2003. I'm sorry. And Matt
Mettenberger. You remember him? Remember Mettenberger?
I remember Mettenberger. He was at LSU.
05, and Billy Bullock.
Mariota. I mean, this is a long
This is a
list.
painful list.
That's like the
If we're talking about some kind of opinion poll, are we trying to say that Tannehill's the best of all those people that you named? Because I can't co-sign. I can't co-sign on that one.
I'm gonna post that.
Oh no, I think really
Mettenberger, not Mythburger.
I think this right here would be a really good X question. Which quarterback would you rather have if your starting quarterback went down? Zach Wilson, Kenny Pickett, or Mitch Trubinsky?
Here's my follow-up question before we answer that. Do you want the person that you're sending this to be your friend? Do you want them to be your friend at any point in life? The person you're sending this poll to?
Sam's
I'm actually
Sam's always a friend.
Give me.
Because this right here could be the end of it.
Hold on. This question's great. Give me Mitch Trubisky. I don't want Zach Wilson near
What?
my franchise. Kenny Pickett can't throw the ball 5 yards.
Oh, he can't hold it. He's got tiny hands.
Trubisky.
Oh, boy.
Run. Give me Trubisky. Wilson he'll chuck his whole team under the bus. No, but they all suck. It's a great
I
question.
thought this was an all Titans poll. I thought that's what we were doing.
No, that was great. I like Damien's. The Titans poll, what I'm going to post, Mista, is I'm going to say,
Oh boy,
best quarterback since Steve McNair, and I just want to watch the people struggle to answer this question.
No, what you need to do is you also need to tag
Sam in the post.
I'm going to tag Sam.
Tag Sam in the post. I'll comment on it and see if I can try to
I'm going to do it
not
right now.
add fuel to the fire.
I'm live tweeting during the show.
That's a D move right there, Isaac.
I'm doing it.
Who's the best Titans quarterback out of this group? Lord. That's good. That's going to be.
It's who's the best Titans quarterback since Steve McNair.
Oh man.
Oh brother. I honestly, I need to think about it. I'll be up for a little while, so I'll think about it. But right now, I have no idea. Honestly.
This is gonna be so freaking.
I got the list in front of me myself, and I don't. I mean,
it's painful.
I mean, Mariota started more games than Tannehill did. If that helps,
I'm gonna make the poll right there.
I don't know the answer.
So you got Ryan Tannehill, You got Marcus Mariota, and I don't want to keep Med too late. Who would the third option be? Would it be Kerry Collins or would it be
Vince Young.
Oh,
Vince
I was
Young.
gonna say you're gonna have to have Vince Young in there.
Okay, so I got Mariota, Tannehill, and Young. Should we throw Will Levis in there just for fun, or is it somebody else?
Man, that's a little.
You can't even do that. You can try Jake Locker
Yeah, all right, Jake Locker, let's do it.
or Kerry Collins. Either one of those.
You know what? Kerry Collins has got more name recognition.
Yeah,
They all had enough starts to be in the competition. I guess this is crazy, man. Sam's not gonna sleep tonight. If Sam sees it before it's his night time, he ain't going to sleep tonight.
Oh, he's gonna hate me. I'm messaging him right now.
The man's gonna be traumatized.
So that pretty
that
much
fun,
does
man.
it for this episode.
That's fun, man.
Mr. U, tell them where they find you.
On all the socials, they call me Mr. U. Thursday night T3, that Thursday thing, 7 p.m. EST. We talk sports and life and family and all that kind of stuff. So we have fun. So please jump on the YouTube channel and hit subscribe and share some likes and some videos. Appreciate it.
Thank you for hopping on, dude. I'm sorry.
Thank you, man. My pleasure, man. This is fun. Big time fun.
We've got a player coming on next Wednesday or next Monday. Sam is messaging me right now.
Get close to that. Get close to that microphone. I could barely hear you.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm making sure not to get past Med's bedtime. I understand. Yeah, I know. So we got another standout from the Tropical Bowl. Our friend Carl Smith Jr. We had a receiver on last week. Mm-hmm. He reached out to a buddy of his, Jameer Augustine, linebacker from Southeastern University and Florida State University. He'll be hopping on with us next Monday. Talk about his draft process at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Brother, if you only knew.
Don't let Miz bid.
But also, you can see me this Friday with Jones for sports.
Hold up, we got a question, and we can decide this.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Who's had the worst QB history? This is easy, man.
It's either the Titans or the Browns. And
whose jersey has all of the quarterbacks on it, and it takes two jerseys to fill all their names on there?
That would be Cleveland Browns.
Correct. This is the easy answer.
And then the main reason why is because the Titans have only been in Tennessee since 1999.
The Browns is the answer. The Browns. Oh, wait. The Bears are an option? It's still the Browns.
No, I was going to say we have at least one Hall of Fame quarterback.
The Dolphins, it's not them because they had Dan Marino. They shouldn't even be on there. And they had Fiedler out there.
And the Bears and the Bears had Super Bowl.
Yeah,
the Bears had Super Bowl as well. So yeah, you can't.
The Bears and Dolphins don't belong on there. Dan Marino was one of the best quarterbacks. He's one of the best players in any sport to not win a title. If we're being fair, the dude was a video game machine in the mid 80s, and the dude was a comeback player of the year in the 90s. It's not the Dolphins. You at least have one guy you can hang your hat on, and the Bears, honestly.
And they hang that
Williams might actually be good, so it's the wrong time to talk about the Bears because Caleb actually looked pretty solid last year. So I don't think it should be the Bears either.
And they're going to kick their own butts for the next 10 years, realizing that man led the NFL in touchdowns this past season with 41.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Who, Baker? Baker's the man.
Oh, Baker. No, I thought you were talking about Caleb. I was trying to get this post for.
Hey, just because he took y'all to the woodshed in Lambeau Field and leapt up into that stand.
Call this crap.
And
are you serious? Are you really going to do this? He's going to call it. He's calling it Caleb's crib because a Bear finally beat the Packers this decade. The first time this decade. I love it. In a meaningless game that the Packers didn't really need. And once their running back got hurt, they were like, oh, well, their quarterback got hurt. They took Jacobs out. So they weren't really trying to win.
They weren't trying to win? It just sounded like they got their ass whooped. That's all it sounds like.
Ned, you're hilarious. You know.